another act of imagination. Stories, by the way, are our first information storage and retrieval device, and they're also our favorite way of reasoning and a favorite pastime. Let me demonstrate to you how quickly you can build a story. Some of you may be familiar with the studies that show whatever it is that you're doing now, in 10 years you're likely to be doing something else. So if you were to imagine that it's 10 years from now, and what you're doing is that you're an architect, how do you make sense of that? What led up to that? You're noticing that your mind can very easily begin to pick out episodes in your life and string them together. And the thing is that if you think about that, if you share that with friends, if you naturalize it, then that begins to feel real, and then it becomes something called fate or destiny. I hope in these and other ways I'm pointing out the fundamental power and persuasiveness of this unconscious process, our imagination, which is running all the time. I think this is where we turn to Albert Einstein. He noted that imagination is more important than knowledge. He went on in that passage to write that knowledge could be great, imagination greater. Any knowledge we have came from something we previously imagined. Let me give you an example. Aristotle knew of the universe that in the heavens it was eternal and perfect, and on earth it was changing with time. Newton thought, well, if the heavens and the earth had the same rules, then the laws of gravity would work everywhere. In other words, Newton had a leap of imagination. Now, he was assisted in this by Galileo, because Galileo had seen that the moon was imperfect. Remember what Cotton Kahneman said, which is that we do not see the world the way it is. We see the world as our instruments allow. And the instrument in this case was the telescope. And so Newton was able to reimagine the universe. And the celestial mechanics were so successful that people took them as real and true. They naturalized. Until a couple centuries later, when our instruments became electric, and it was worked out that the speed of light was constant, and then the universe needed to be reimagined. And we have Einstein's theories of relativity. Marshall McLuhan wrote that our technologies extend us. They extend our instruments. And so then we have a way of understanding what's happening. That is that technologies and science advance as our instruments exceed our imaginings. And at that point, it's time to reimagine the world. I hope you see by now that imagination and knowledge are complementary and complete each other. It's like they're in an endless dance in which imagination leads. Thank you.